Okay, we're going to try to use electrolysis to get the rust out of this gas tank, this motorcycle gas tank. I don't know if you can see that in there. Pretty rusty. So we're going to use a solution of baking soda and water, about half a cup to however many gallons this is what we're going to use. Right?
I have to use washing soda.
Washing soda. So the baking soda,
baked it for 400 degrees for an hour.
Say that again.
You get baking soda, you put it on a cooking tray, and you bake it in the oven for 400 degrees for an hour, and it turns into washing soda.
And that's the solution mix, half a cup.
For 5 gallons.
Half cup for 5 gallons. So
This is a 5-gallon tank.
Alright, we got a piece of tie wire here. Got the oil off of it and then sanded the wire, get it clean so it's bare metal. Gonna bend this and shape it, stick it in there, and use the cathode anode setup on this and use electrolysis to try to pull that rust out. So we'll get that going and pause back in. Alright, what we got here is we got some styrofoam, cut it up in little cubes there and stuck the wire through it. That will help keep this wire from touching any other metal surface when we fish it down in there, because it's kind of tight right there. So this will help keep it, give it kind of a standoff so it don't touch anywhere. Okay, we're going to pour in the solution of baking soda and water, and then fill the tank up all the way full, and then stick our cathode or anode in. I'm not sure which one it is.
I believe it's the anode.
The anode is the sacrificial piece. And what the baking soda does, it creates an electrolyte in the water for the current to flow through. So the more baking soda you put in, the more amperage it's going to draw when you're doing this. And it doesn't take a lot, just it's pretty low. Alright, we'll fill it up and get back with you. I'm going to pause out. Alright, we got the battery charger going on it. I checked it with my voltmeter. It's actually putting 16 volts in there, and you can see the water up there starting to get bubbly. There's a big bubble just popped up. Now that's a hydrogen gas that's coming up, and it's extremely flammable, so you want to do this with plenty of ventilation and make sure there's no ignition sources around. So that little wire that's down inside is right there, and I just used 2 alligator clamps and insulated it with a piece of plastic right here so it's not directly connected to the gas tank, positive and negative, and it's just going through the water inside, if that makes sense. Well, just to show you those bubbles there, I'm going to pause out here for a minute. Okay, this is after about an hour of being on this electrolysis. You can see all that slimy, bubbly, grimy, rusty stuff coming out of there. So as it bubbles up and it runs out, I got it running down into this tub as it bubbles up, all that stuff, so it don't get all over. $1985 500 Interceptor tank. And I'm going to pause out and I'll Come back in a little bit. Okay, it's the next morning, and overnight at some point the iron that I had in there corroded away from the electrolysis, so I've got to make another one. What I'm going to do there, get a piece of welding rod, chip the flux off of it, any kind of sacrificial iron you can use. But what I'm going to do on that, when I stick it down in the tank, I don't want any of this metal to touch any part of the tank inside, so I got a piece of old vacuum hose, and I'm just going to cut little sections of that and then slide it over this every so often so it will be a standoff inside the tank. So I'll get that done and show you what that looks like, and we'll see if it works. Okay, I'll pause out and I'll pause back in when I get this ready. Alright, this is what I come up with. I got the rod bent. I tried it in there, made sure it fit down in there good. Put a vacuum cap on the end of this rod so it won't touch anything inside. Then space those little pieces of vacuum hose out. Alright, quite a bit of crud, rust and stuff. Alright, I'll get this hooked up and go from there. Alright, got this all hooked up and gonna give it some power. You can see that rod down in there, maybe. Get a little better angle. You can see that rod coming down, going down in. Got a little bit of bubbles around it right now. I'm going to put some power to it, and hopefully you'll see the action taking place. Okay, I'm going to turn the power on. I don't know if you can see the bubbles going on down there. Starting to foam up. It's pretty slow, but trying to get an angle where you can see down in there better. Trying to hold a flashlight and see a little bit of bubbling going on. Anyway, let this run for a while. I'm going to add some more water and baking soda mixture in there and raise the level up a little bit. Alright, pause out and pause back in when there's something new. Okay, it's been about 36 hours, maybe a little less than that, of this electrolysis process. So I just pulled the anode out, and there's what's left of it. Just ate it right away. So we're gonna take and rinse it out and see what it looks like down inside. So it kind of looked like what it looks like here on the outside is what it looked like on the inside. So we'll see what it looks like now. Pause out and rinse it out and get back with you. Okay, we got it all rinsed out. You can see down in there how clean that got that. It's starting to flash rust a little bit now as it's drying out, but it was just clean metal down in there. So there you go. And what we did to get the water out, we got a shop vac and a small piece of hose, and then sealed that with our hand. And just take this hose, shove it down in there to the low points, and vacuum all the water out. Get it all dried out. pretty slick way to do it. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe right there.